In June 2017, when I was 15 years old, I was staying the night at a friend's house. Mind you, her house was very haunted. We were awake during the early hours of the morning, as most teenagers are at sleepovers. My friend lived in a rural area, she had no close neighbours, and her house was surrounded by corn and bean fields. Around 1 a.m, my friend and I decided to go on a walk because we were bored. We walked just to the end of the road and we turned around to walk back towards the house. We both had our phone flashlights on and my phone was playing music at a low volume. We're almost halfway back to the house when we both started hearing rustling in the cornfield immediately to the right of us. The corn wasn't very high or full because it was June. It was still early in the growing season, so you could see over the corn and through it. Hearing the rustling, we both stopped dead in our tracks and shined our phone flashlights in the direction of the noise we just heard. We stood quiet for a second, thinking we'd see a fox or a possum pop out, but we didn't see anything. So we kept on walking. Slightly freaked out, we convinced each other that it was just a wild animal and there was nothing to be afraid of. We get a little closer to my friend's house and suddenly both of our phones die. We're left to continue the walk in near total darkness. The only thing illuminating the darkness is the light above the garage on the side of the house and the stars in the sky. We get to the end of the gravel driveway and I happen to look up and glance into the tree line that runs along the property. There I see a tall, dark, human-like figure with no distinguishable features. No eyes, nothing. I felt my heart drop into my stomach. I pause, point to it, and ask my friend, "What the fuck is that?" She saw it too. We immediately bolt in the other direction. When I first started running, I could see the figure start running too, but it ran towards the house. I never ran so fast in my life, as someone who ran cross-country and track during this time in my life. I tried screaming, but I couldn't. I was so out of breath. We ran to a side door opposite side from where we saw the figure run to. While running to the side door, we could hear things outside being knocked over, such as garbage cans, patio furniture, etc. My friend ran inside the house first. I ran inside not too far behind her. I never slammed and locked a door so fast in my life. Still full of adrenaline, we ran downstairs to her bedroom and shut her bedroom door. We put things she had in her room in front of it. I ran over to her bedroom window and covered it. We both sat on the bed and discussed what just happened. We both came to the conclusion that we had no idea what we just saw, but we were very scared. Safe to say, we did not leave her room for the rest of the night. My mum and stepdad got married when I was 4. My mum and I moved into the house my stepdad owned after they got married. It was just the 3 of us and our animals. I'm the only child, and at the time of the story we had 2 big dogs who lived inside and out. The dogs usually roamed outside at night on the 20 acres we owned. We lived in that house for 14 years and I saw my fair share of creepy stuff, but this story sticks out the most. I was around 7, I don't exactly remember the age, only the present I got that year. I know I was old enough to use the bathroom at night alone, but still young enough that my mum would check on me to make sure I got back into bed okay. I also know for sure it was Christmas Eve. Our tree was always off at night except for Christmas Eve. Our house was small, 850 square feet small, but I loved it. When you walked in the front door, you were immediately in the living room. Straight ahead was the hall. In reality, it was a small rectangle that had doors on 3 of the 4 sides. From the living room/front door, you could see into the bathroom. Heading to the bathroom, you had a closet on your left, bathroom door, my bedroom door to the right. Empty wall the width of the door, and my parents' bedroom door. The kitchen was off to the left side of the living room and shared a wall with the bathroom/closet. I got up to use the bathroom Christmas Eve. I got up from my bed, went out of my bedroom door and turned the corner into the bathroom. I of course had to peek at the tree and the presents underneath. I thought I saw a monster truck, and at the time was a really big fan and really wanted a remote control one. But I didn't stop to look because I really had to go. After I finished up my business, I got up and looked towards the living room. I really wanted to peek at my presents before I went back to sleep. We didn't close the door in my house growing up unless we had people over, so I could see the front door and the glow of the Christmas tree from my seat. I looked back at the toilet to flush, and when I looked back up to the doorway between the hall and the living room, I saw the silhouette of a boy. He looked about my age from his height, but he had his back to me, so I'm not sure what his face looked like. He was standing in the doorway using his left hand to hold the door frame, so he could lean into the living room on his tiptoes and peek at the presents. In his right hand, he had a red sucker. His whole body was dark because of the lack of light and the Christmas lights shining behind him. I shuffled to the edge of the bathroom, so I was just inside the doorway. If I put my arm out straight, I could have touched this kid. I'm standing there, about to ask him what he's doing, when he slowly drops back down flat to his feet and starts to turn to face me. As he starts to turn, I get the most intense feeling of dread, fear, and anxiety. I can see the profile of his face and he's just smiling, staring straight ahead. Just as he's about to get all the way around, my mum walked out of her room and asked me if I'm okay. In the split second it took to look at her and back at the boy, he was gone. I instantly felt better, and it was as if he never existed. I pointed to the living room and my mum assumed I was trying to peek at the presents, so she just took me back into bed. I fell asleep pretty quick and woke up and totally forgot about it the next morning. I did get my remote control monster truck that year. It was years before it came back to me, and I told my mum about this. She wasn't surprised because, like I said, a lot of weird stuff happened in that house. If you've experienced something you still can't explain, send your story to TheEndReel@gmail.com for a chance for it to be featured in a future episode. And if you'd like to hear more real encounters like this, please subscribe. Until next time, keep your lights low, your curiosity high, and stay tuned for the next episode of The End Reel.